now.
Alrighty, everyone.
Any locals, I'm by Jay's Bail Bond Service.
For yet
Anybody's
another
local,
tropical
knows where I'm
update.
at.
We got Hurricane
Or
Idalia,
the,
who made landfall
New
about
Home
a little
Baptist
over an hour
Church.
or so ago.
I think this is
south of
actually a pretty
Perry,
good spot to
Florida,
stop for 1
as
second.
a
Nobody
Category
behind us, nobody
3
in front of us or to the
hurricane. Now,
sides.
earlier on this morning, before she made landfall, she had winds of 130 miles an hour, which did put her in the Category 4 category, yeah, for just a little bit, kind of a low-end Category 4 hurricane. And then her winds got downgraded right before landfall to 125 miles an hour, which put her as a high-end Category 3 hurricane. And now we're seeing, as of the latest update, which came out from the Hurricane Center just a little bit ago, winds are down to 120 miles an hour. The reason for the weakening is that she is moving over land. Tropical systems just do not like land, and she will continue to weaken as she moves her way across northern Florida,
debris.
and eventually into southeastern Georgia later on this afternoon, and then off the Carolina coast by overnight tonight, and then going into the rest of the week, mainly just staying out in the open water. So let's take a look at the radar imagery. Now, we've been following Idalia all morning. If you've been watching the previous updates, we have talked about how there's her eye. She made landfall, but now that she has made landfall, she is going to begin to weaken as she does so, and we're kind of still holding on to a little bit of the eye, but it is becoming a little bit more filled in, which is to be expected as this system makes landfall. This is where the strongest winds are going to be located. This right here is kind of the eye wall. It does appear there might be at least a little bit of drier air kind of getting sucked in here on the eastern edge, but regardless, still a strong hurricane. Now, she is going to be moving pretty quickly to the northeast here.
For a minute. It's pretty safe
and again,
here.
that's what's going to allow for some of these hurricane conditions to make their way a little farther inland, but as mentioned, she is going to be weakening as she does so. So we're not expecting that Idalia is going to be getting any stronger now that it's over land. Other places like Madison, heading over toward maybe Jasper, again, these are places that could maybe see briefly some hurricane force conditions, not to the extent that they saw down along the immediate coast here with 120 mile an hour winds in some parts, but at least maybe still some gusts getting up to about 70 miles an hour or so. With that in mind, the hurricane force winds as of the last advisory, let's go ahead and pause this here and see if we can't get the wind map up here. Mind you, the wind map is going to be running just a little bit behind the actual center of Idalia. Idalia is now up here, but at least at the time when her center was down here, we see that the hurricane force winds only
this location on the map in case we need someone to shelter. This is a good spot.
So again, this is somewhat of a
minimal
compact
debris
hurricane. So really what we're seeing right now, if we were to go ahead and flip on...
Right at this ambulance company here.
And we'll take a little bit more of a look.
I'm surprised they don't have their ambulance.
This is where Idalia is.
Oh, watch out. We're going to lose a window.
Again, our center is about right here. So about 20 miles.
Got to point into the wind.
That's the hurricane force wind field, effectively, that little circle there. So the whole thing does not have 120 mile an hour winds. As a matter of fact, the hurricane force winds are 74 miles an hour and above. So
thanks for joining me, everybody. Consider subscribing if you're new here. Help get the word out if you're in the path of this storm. It's going to be on a weakening trend, but it's still dangerous. Obviously, we've got stuff blowing around.
We are watching as Idalia works her way inland. There's probably quite a bit of storm surge. We've been following some of these videos as we made our way through the morning hours. A few storm spotters down there broadcasting some video. This one is right around Perry, Florida. From I believe this is SeeTheStorm.net. We can see the winds here have kind of returned. Again, seeing some very strong gusty winds. I've been watching these videos.
It's only going to get
worse,
our way
through the morning hours,
the next
and it's
couple of
interesting
minutes
to see the amount of traffic that is out. It's almost as if it's just
the only hazard we have right now is that tree over there to my left.
Regardless, though,
I'm literally sitting here with the vehicle in drive. If that tree starts flying at us, we're going to take the foot off the brake and just get it gas.
At least hurricane force winds at times. You see, look at that. The around
big
there
time.
looks like the center has just passed away. To the south and to the east of Perry. So now we're seeing kind of the second edge here of this system. All right,
big time gust, guys.
Radar imagery here, so you can kind of see
this is probably 90 mile an hour gusts.
This video is taken right about.
The anemometer on the cyclone port was hit by debris, so it is not accurate.
Here's the center of Idalia. So again, now we're seeing the wind kind of coming in from the north as it makes its way around the center here. So
you know what? I'm gonna
does appear passed
This,
just to the
Century Ambulance Company.
southeast of Perry, Florida. So Perry, Florida did not get the
apparently not
eye,
worried about their
but they
ambulances.
certainly got the eye wall, and they're still in it
And,
right now.
I'm going to be quite frank.
They're probably going to
their ambulances look like really good shelter right now.
And
they're out of service. They've abandoned the
remember
station
this way.
for now. Looks like. So we're
Perry
going to
is
pull right up
likely the
behind
town that is going to be
ambulance.
seeing kind of the strongest of the conditions, because as Idalia
Oh,
moves
God.
inland, obviously it's going to
That could've
weaken
been the window.
more. But Perry's kind of hit for the past couple of hours here with the eye wall.
We're going to
And
utilize
again, as mentioned, looks like
their
the center
ambulances here
never
to
made it
protect our
in.
side windows.
The center did go just south of it. We were actually looking at
nice
some
brick
video a
building
little
to
bit
shelter
earlier from the eye of the hurricane, which is the calmest part for those of you who might be unfamiliar. The eye of the hurricane is the calmest
This is
part.
wild.
You know, and in some stronger storms or when better defined eyes, it can actually be mostly clear skies there and a very light wind, if
We are
there's
in
even
Perry,
a wind
folks.
at all. So
Here's a
again,
look
we're talking
at,
just a few,
Hurricane Idalia.
a few miles
Starting to
more
get that
or less.
lopsided look. So here's the
Makes
center
kind
of
a big
circulation
difference
right
depending
there.
upon where you are. But Idalia is going to continue her way
Deteriorating
up
a
to
bit,
the
but
north
this
and to
feeder
the east,
band that's coming
again,
ashore
making
here,
her
that's
way
going to
through
pose
northern
problems as
Florida
well.
the rest of this morning,
It's
and then
not
eventually
over
into Georgia
at
as we
all.
head through
Please
the
don't let your guard
afternoon.
down.
So the
Stay
video that
vigilant.
we're seeing right now again is
Fish
kind
Creek
of
camera back
the
up,
western edge
maybe.
of the eye wall trying to
Fish
make
Creek
its way
is
through.
flooded.
The center is not very far away from that video that
Keaton
you do
Beach, how's
see.
that look?
We're only talking maybe about
Flooded.
a couple of miles or so, and that's why it does appear that the rain has at least gone down just a little bit. But most likely here in probably another 15 minutes or so, this picture will probably get pretty windy and pretty stormy yet again. Albeit it looks like the strongest part of the eye wall is now up towards the north of the Perry area. So that's kind of what we've been seeing as we made our way through the morning hours. So Idalia kind of made landfall as a high-end Category 3 hurricane. She might have briefly had, she had Category 4 winds briefly before landfall, 130 miles an hour, 130 mile an hour winds.
Yeah, we're protected from surge here, everyone. This is Perry.
Dropped down
this
to
is an inland community.
So still a Category 3
we are
hurricane.
about, let me measure. We have this capability with Radar Omega. We're about 15 miles inland.
Probably is a Category 1 hurricane, then down to a tropical storm by the time she reaches Charleston, South Carolina. Kind of a quick moving system too, so you know, the places that are being hit this morning will likely clear off. Well, at least will likely quiet down as we go into the afternoon. And then things will kind of return to normal down around those areas. So very interesting kind of hurricane here that we've been watching, and we'll kind of have another update coming up in just a little bit later on this morning here as we track Hurricane Idalia as she makes her way through northern Florida. Again, there she is on the satellite down there, infrared satellite.
Gotta ride it out here for a
still
minute,
somewhat showing up briefly, but obviously getting smaller and smaller, and eventually Idalia is going to kind of continue to weaken more and more. Right now, Category 3 hurricane, but that'll likely we'll continue to see that wind speed drop. So, with that in mind, be interesting, huh? All right. Well, for those of you who've been following along all morning, we'll have another update coming up in just a little bit. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a good rest of your morning. We'll see you back here in just a little bit.